Welcome back to Down the Track, and it stumps on day one of the second test between England and New Zealand. England winning the toss and elected to bat first, and they got off to a good start, 72 runs, a good steady start. But again, Sibley was a bit too defensive. He played his shots towards the end and unlucky to get out. I think New Zealand bowled really well throughout the day. But yeah, it was Rory Burns again, picking up where he left off in the last game. 81 of 187 deliveries, exquisite shots. He looks a bit weird when he's on the at the crease. He has some different batting backlift and movement as well. But then when that bat comes down to meet the ball, the timing is just sensational, and he's shown that there can be issues in his I think in his batting, but he has the shots, he has the timing, and he's a really good batsman to play in these kind of conditions where there is swing throughout the day. I think it shows that his technique might be awkward, but it is effective because he's middling it as well, and he knows which ball to leave and which not. But at the end, it was Trent Bolt swinging it away and getting him out, and depriving him of 100. I think a well-deserved 100. But then again, after that, it was a struggle for England. Zach Crawley, Joe Root, and even Oli Pope, not managing to score. And I think Henry, first of all, I think he bowled really well, coming in the place of Saudi, very accurate line and length, and I think these conditions suit him. He gets the ball just to nip away, and it's that nagging line, for the batsman whether to play at it or whether not to play. And I think that's where he got the England players stuck. So credit to him there, and he was supported so well by Trent Bolt coming out straight from quarantine and just bowling wonderfully. He loves these conditions, and I think it's good signs for New Zealand going into that World Test Championship final. He's getting the ball to move, and that shape, even in the 60th over where he got the wicket of Burns, and I think he got Bracey out first ball as well. So that movement, he's getting it even in the 60th over. So those are great signs. And he's a natural swing bowler. He's shown that these conditions do suit him in England, and it's good signs for New Zealand. Again, after that, I think Bracey also failed. But it was that man, Dan Lawrence, standing up. I think it was a brilliant innings. England could have been bundled out for under 230, 240 if New Zealand, put the foot on the pedal. But Lawrence stood in the way. I think he batted really well with the tail first with Ollie Stone. It was a good partnership. Stone got LBW by Patel, and then Mark Wood came and batted 58 deliveries for his 16. He's showing good support, and that's a mark of a really good batsman. Lawrence, batting with the tail. It's not easy to do that in difficult conditions when the bowlers are on top. I think he's shown that he has it in him, and it was a very fluent inning. 67 of 100 deliveries, 67 strike rate. He was playing his shots. It wasn't like he's trying to defend everything, and I think that's the approach that England need. In the last test, you saw they went into their shell a bit. Yes, they don't have their best players playing, but at the same time, it's about that intent, and it's not like he's going 100, 110 per 110 strike rate. He's batting at a decent test match strike rate, and it takes pressure off as well, right? And puts pressure on the bowlers. Then they try to do something different. You could see even the likes of Henry, Wagner as well, Mitchell. The line was moving a bit after Lawrence hit them for a few boundaries, even Bolt for that matter of fact. So when you do score runs, you show that intent. It does put pressure on the bowling team, and it gives you and it keeps your runs ticking. You saw in the first session, Sibley was very defensive, and they only got to 70. They could have got to maybe like 90, 100, put pressure on New Zealand there. It gave New Zealand that thing that, okay, fine, they're 72 for no loss, but get a couple of wickets, we can run through them. And that's what was happening. But Lawrence, I think, changed that method, and he batted brilliantly. He's still there, not out. He will be the key if England can get to 300. I think that will be great for them. It'll be especially from the position where they were, at like 175 for 6, 220 for 7. If they can get to 300 from there, I think it'll be great stuff. Mark Wood is batting well. He's giving them support. It'll be all on Lawrence. If he gets to 100, that'll be sensational. But I think they'll be eyeing that 300 England, even though it's a bit difficult. New Zealand, on the other hand, I think ideally they would have liked to get England all out for under 250, and get a bit of bat to towards the end of the day and get a lead tomorrow. But I think now that England, they still need to pick up 3 wickets, then they get into bat. If the ball continues to move like this throughout the test match, then it's going to be very close. If it does flatten out, then New Zealand will have a good chance. But again, there's no Kane Williamson. That's a huge blow for them. So there will be pressure on that batting lineup. A lot of onus will be on the likes of Latham. He's captaining as well, and Ross Taylor, a star batsman. I felt that Latham did captain well today, but again, wiping out that tail, something a lot of captains in the past have struggled with. I think maybe the bowlers do tire out as well. So with a fresh, with some fresh bodies tomorrow, I think they'll want to wrap it up quickly, set some aggressive fields, and he'll have to be a bit careful because if England do bat out the first hour, then it's about controlling the runs as well. I think initially first 5-10 overs he needs to go for wickets and try to wrap it up there. And with Bolt and Henry, I think is their best shout for tomorrow. Yeah, and I think apart from that, it was a really good days of cricket. The crowd coming in, it was almost packed at the Edgbaston. Atmosphere was brilliant in Birmingham, and you could hear the noise. It was great to see Test cricket. A wonderful day, good contest between bat and ball. And for me, the batsman of the day, the player of the day, has to be Lawrence. I think the way he played, the strike rate, the shots. The composure, I think batting with the tail as well is just fantastic, and hoping to see more from him. From New Zealand side of things, I think Ajaz Patel picking up a couple of wickets. That's a huge bonus for them. They're playing that spinner, and I think again England is missing that trick. They're not playing that extra spinner like someone like a Leach who should come in and give that fast bowlers a breather and try to lock one end up. You could see a bit of uneven bounce there. Of course, he's not going to extract. It's not like you're batting on a or bowling on a fifth day Wankhede pitch or something like that, or a Chennai pitch, but it does you're changing the pace a bit, you're bowling a bit slower. It does make the batsman think, and he got two big wickets of Pope as well. And I've been disappointed with Pope. I think he looks good whenever he's there, when he's batting, but it's about that consistency, turning that into big scores. He will need to focus on that. So yeah, apart from that, I think Bolt and Henry again stars with the ball. And Wagner, 3.1 economy rate, could do better. He's that kind of bowler, where he hits the deck. Maybe pitch it up a bit more. He has been unlucky as well, I think, in the last match as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes about it. He's not getting that same bounce he gets in New Zealand, so he will have to try something a bit different there. All in all, I think it's an evenly poised game. We'll find out more tomorrow. I think we'll understand who will probably have an advantage when New Zealand get to bat. You can't really judge the surface with after one innings. I think after the second innings, because it could easily flatten out. It could just be one day a bit of moisture. It could flatten out, or it could continue the same. And if it does continue the same, then England will have a good chance, because 250 plus with the ball swinging, Anderson and Broad, it does keep them in the game. Ideally, they would like to get 300, like I said. But it's it's all poised for a very, very interesting day two. I'll catch you after that after the day's play. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, and take care.